My name is Lissa Qualls. I am the current past president for the ICF Arkansas, Oklahoma chapter. A question that I am asked often as I am starting my coaching engagements or even when we're doing discovery calls is, what is coaching exactly? One of the things that I have found quite useful is an explanation that is easy to use, easy to remember, and people understand it. I tell them if I were a therapist or a counselor, I would be looking backwards. We would spend most of our time looking backwards and trying to figure out how we got here today. If I were a consultant or a mentor, I would be sitting in the seat that they wanted, and all they would have to do are these 10 steps, and they could have my job. But I am a coach. That means I am a thought partner with them. I stand with them, and together we look forward to see what's in front of us. Where do they want to go? What's holding them back? And as we have that discovery, we keep moving. I also like to mention there are times that we will look backward. It is much like in a car. Our windshield is massive and huge in front of us, and we're going to spend most of our time looking forward. But there are times that there's benefit to look backward. Has this happened before? In the past, when this came up, how did you handle that? So, very much I use that explanation and share with people, and they tend to understand it. But I'm also aware that when we are in a coaching engagement, it can be somewhat of a dance. I was on a webinar listening the other day with Marshall Goldsmith, and he made the comment. A question came in from the coaches in the room about, if we give information, if we give suggestions, isn't that consulting? And he immediately responded that he does not care a lot for labels, that can be confusing and they can shut things down. He said, if I have the information and the person in front of me has asked me a question, is it right for me not to give them the information that I have? Or should I share that with them? Now, we know the purest form of coaching is asking questions. Yes, we give some inquiry, we give some responses back, all those kind of things, but we tend to stay away from our thoughts. He was sharing that there is that opportunity. And if you're doing any sort of corporate coaching, you're going to notice that that is much of a dance. There are those things that are asked, and they've hired you because we do have some expertise we bring to the table. Now, some coaches like to handle that in at the beginning of our agreement, whatever modality I'm using that you're connecting with, to go ahead and do a couple of sessions on training, and then to go right into the purest form of coaching. Other coaches prefer that in that time, that when those questions come up, that they say, I'm taking off my coaching hat and I'm putting on my consultant hat or whatever. What Marsha was saying, and what I agree with, is when we are sitting across from our client, we are there in service of our client. Now, with our explanation, they do understand what the purest form of coaching is and what coaching brings to the table. But we have that agreement on what that looks like. If I ask a question and they're thinking about it, maybe they immediately ask me, what would I do? I don't immediately give them the answer or what the resource is, etc. I invite them to do some. I ask multiple questions. What else? What else? And then if I have something I can bring to the table in service of them, I will offer that as a thought. May I invite you to consider, or have you ever thought about? But it's not given in the form of do this as a consultant would do, but it's in a form of a consideration. And that only comes after I've asked multiple times what their thoughts are on that. But I always remember I've set the agreement with my client early on. They've brought me here because of the expertise and experience that I bring to the table. And at the end of the day, my job is to serve my client in the best way for that client. So hopefully that will be of assistance to you when people ask you, what is coaching? So maybe you can use this as a simple example of what coaching is and what it is not. And then as you go into the agreement with your clients, now you have an understanding of how they would like to do that dance. Thank you so much for taking time to listen. I hope this serves you as you go forward. Bye for now.